The intro cinematic has had to be cut due to YouTube's auto-copyright system, along with several songs possibly being altered. If you would like to see this video in its unaltered form, please go over to my Patreon. Thank you for understanding. Hey, long time no see. How you doing? You been alright? What? Season 4? Ram S Sword Bug? Armored Potbuster? What are you talking about, bro? Slayer's just been announced. Slayer has been a character that I've wanted in Guilty Gear since the game was released. Being a character that I dabbled with in other games, his high damage and infuriating defense are extremely appealing to me. You're telling me I can kill someone because they decided they wanted to do something while I was blocking? Sign me the fuck up! So you could say that I'm a little bit excited for Slayer's release. In fact, I am completely ready to jump ship again because Biken is... yeah. Wait, Gekko, what are you talking about? Weren't you saying that Biken was in a great spot? In fact, it's been over a year since the last episode. What the fuck happened? Didn't you get booted out of your house or something? Ah, right. Yeah, I should probably catch you all up to speed. Well, if you remember at the end of the last episode, the ever-loving hand of capitalism slapped me in the face and forced me to be booted out of my own home. It was an extremely traumatic event, but I thankfully was able to move into my nana's house for a little while. Because of this though, I had to slow down on the amount that I was competing. I need to get my own place again, after all. So I focused on content rather than pressing buttons good. After a bit of Street Fighter controversy, a bit of trying other games, a bit of existential dread, and a very good heaping of life being a fuck, I had somehow managed to secure my own flat with all the facilities I could ever need. Bedroom, kitchen, office, toilet, room where I go to scream, everything a young man could ever need. It's not like I stopped competing over this time. In fact, I managed to get my first top 8 ever at a regional tournament with a fair amount of competitors in it. And I, of course, played in every Sunday face-off that I could. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, my heart wasn't entirely in it. This was for multiple reasons. I couldn't play in tournaments due to the setup that I had, since I was basically always on Wi-Fi, so I've been spending a lot of my time not competing in tournaments doing other things. Mainly playing Final Fantasy XIV. If you ever want a truly heart-wrenching experience, go play Shadowbringers while going through several life-altering events. It will fuck you up in the right kind of way. But even then, Strive had changed. The start of Season 3 marked the end of when I was seriously competing. And while I think Biken is still a viable character, she has some issues. It feels like the developers just keep taking things away from her, or indirectly shooting her, and then never giving her compensation for it. Alongside a lot of the cast getting buffed, it means that she'd fallen down the tier list. I can still cook with her, but there's always the feeling of fighting an uphill battle because of it. But also, I'm losing my edge. It's been a long time since I competed regularly. So much so that people that I used to beat are now surpassing me, and there's not a lot I could do about it. My current living conditions, my new Final Fantasy XIV commitments, and my thoughts on my character have all been adding up to make me feel washed. A shell of my former self. I'm not the competitor that I used to be, not even close. With everything combined, the passionate fire that once radiated in my heart wasn't as strong. I just didn't want to compete as much. Call me crazy, but I don't like losing, especially if I'm paying to compete. It would take some kind of miracle to get me back in the game. Or perhaps some kind of curse. It came to me like a vision in the night. A well-dressed dandy man and his beautiful wife, cloaked in a shroud of bats. He offered out his hand to me. With a bargain, he could give me the powers I needed. The strength to become whole again. The shell could be filled, and my new self could be even stronger than before. The catch I would have to abandon everything. Become something that the community may hate. I would have to become the bad guy. In exchange for my power, people will hate you. Will be long gone from the days of Gekkosquirrel, the funny Geo guy. Your name will not bring joy. It will not elicit cheers. It will bring anger. It will bring booze. You will become something to be overcome. Someone to be cheered against. Someone who deserves to lose. All so you can gain fleeting power. Are you prepared to make that sacrifice? What else is there to lose? Right? Slayer may have released as the most overtuned, broken character in the history of Strive. Being an explosive rushdown character, Slayer is able to turn the tide of a battle in the blink of an eye. While he doesn't have his infamous backdash cancel tech like he did in the older Guilty Gear games, several of his moves have added properties that allow Slayer to avoid taking damage at all. Moves like his 2H have extreme low crush properties, and his back dandy step creates so much distance that it is hard for some players to ever actually hit him. This, combined with extremely strong pressure strings, alongside extremely volatile mix-ups, leads to Slayer being a powerhouse when he gets up close and personal. While Strive is a high damage game, Slayer makes everyone else's combos look like shit, with a good counter hit combo doing 70% of the opponent's life. And his standard B&Bs, yeah, let's have a nice clean 50%. Sometimes even more. Not to mention, this character's fucking easy. There's not a lot of tricks or gimmicks here. Aside from his Kara dash cancels, Slayer is extremely simple. You get exactly what it says on the tin. High damage and strong pressure at the cost of some movement and long-range utility. Oh, and defense. But we all know what strong characters with poor defense usually turn out like. Upon his release, he was extremely easy to pick up, and several players saw large amounts of success with him, me included. I haven't played the game properly in months, only joining the occasional Salty EU tournament when I had the chance. But even still, I was beating experienced players with Slayer like it was nothing. Players were dominating online tournaments, tormenting their locals. Slayer was running absolutely rampant around the Strive scene. Only the top players were able to stop him. And even then, Slayer's ability to steal matches in the blink of an eye never made them easy fights. It was complete and utter chaos. And I was deep in the trenches, playing the most Strive that I had played in months. And I felt... I don't know. It's not like I wasn't having fun, but... is this really it? I know Slayer's always been a straightforward character, whose main gimmick is killing you, but the thing that attracted me to the character was his stupidly strong defense. I liked backdash cancel. Having a defensive option that forces my opponents to think on their offense is unique and super fun for me. That's why I stuck with Baiken for so long, despite her being kind of ass right now. I know it's not uncommon in Strive for the fat to be trimmed on characters, but I wouldn't be lying if I said I'm upset the backdash canceling is completely gone. Is it for the best, though? Probably. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just dealing with the shock of not having amazing defensive tools or... well, basically any defensive tools, I guess. Plus, I need to get ready. I gotta show off what I learned soon. 2 events are coming up in the near future. Wake Up Super and Versus Fighting 12. Wake Up Super, previously known as Wake Up on Trent and currently known as I Miss Wake Up Super, is a yearly-ish regional tournament in the Midlands, meaning it's the prime location for the majority of the UK scene to get to. I don't have to pay ridiculous prices to get down south, and Londoners can use all of the wealth that they've hoarded from my ancestors. It's a win-win for both of us. Wake Up Super takes place in July, and Versus Fighting takes place in August, meaning I have just enough time to find my weaknesses and get ready to kick ass at the UK's major tournament. I should practice in online brackets, but I kinda feel bad. So I decided to just stick to Tower and play against my viewers, because I might feel bad using Slayer against bracket players, but I don't feel bad about using Slayer against you guys. And before I knew it, July was upon us. As stated before, Wake Up Super is part of the Wake Up series of regional tournaments, originally being named Wake Up on Trent. They are doing extremely well for regional tournaments, and end up being one of the biggest Strive tournaments in the UK. This year's tournament having 78 entrants for Strive alone, which for a regional is absolutely insane. For context, that is more entrants than some gold events in the Ark World Tour. I am also friends with some of the people who run Wake Up. They're very cool. Thank you, Keno. I hope when Wake Up comes back, it's going to be as sick as it always is. I'm looking forward to it. Because of this, though, the tournament had some genuine competition. Like, this wasn't an easy bracket to get through. And I was rocking up on a completely new character that I haven't played in a tournament setting before. What could possibly go wrong? Out of these 78 entrants, I was seeded to come 27th. Sounds impressive, however, that would put me just shy of making it out of my pool. Considering I've not been playing in tournaments for the past... Yeah, this is more than a fair placement. But I think I can do better. In fact, I think I could even make it out of my pool. So, how about we try? My first match was against a player called Elling, and... Oh god, they're a Slayer player too, oh no. Something that I've failed to mention is that the Slayer mirror is not the most fun thing in the world. Since the character is so powerful with explosive offense and weak defense, the Slayer mirror ends up being a matter of who gets a good hit first, generally having the match be entirely decided at round start. Honestly, it's fucking annoying. I knew I was gonna have to fight another Slayer at some point, but I didn't expect it to be this early. Well, here goes nothing. Thanks to my amazing skill and definitely not round start luck, I'm up 2-0, and my opponent decides enough is enough, and went back to the character select screen. They had run out of options, and it was time for their desperate plea. Thankfully for me, Slayer into Potemkin is currently a very favorable matchup for me, and I take the match in style. Being up 1-0, I was happy with my performance so far. I was better than at least one other Slayer player in the building. That's pretty huge, honestly. But that doesn't mean things are going to get easier for me. Scarfelt is one of the top Millia players in the UK. This isn't the first time that we've met. And we actually have a pretty storied history in bracket. Remember the tournament that I somehow top 8'd in? Well, in order to secure winner's side top 8, I had to go through Scarfell. It was an intense battle, and I somehow managed to make it out on top. But at this point, that was months ago. They had more than enough time to improve. Not to mention, I was on a completely new character. One that was definitely strong, but I wasn't 100% comfortable on. So what's stronger? Scarfelt's skill or my Faustian bargain? There's only one way to find out, right? Somehow, by the skin of my teeth, I had robbed another player in the brackets. It was a close match. And while normally going 3-2 means that you were on even footing with your opponents, I didn't feel like I earned this victory. Scarfelt played extremely well, but Millia's low health and Slayer's ability to just steal rounds means that I was able to practically cheese them until I won. It felt underhanded. Cheap. But a win is a win, and I had made it to the end of my pool. Win or lose, I was guaranteed to make it out. And my next opponent was kind of interesting. Ggst is not really a Strive player. His main game is Street Fighter. However, he's shown himself to be proficient in multiple different fighting games. At this event alone, he would take 2 top 8 finishes in MVCI and Street Fighter 6, with a 9th place in Grand Blue. And let me tell you, his Strive placing isn't too different. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Ggst doesn't know Strive. He knows fighting games. We're not on his own turf, so he's not going to be hitting me with a bunch of crazy bullshit like the other competitors. But his skill set is different. Instead of relying on flashy combos, crazy setups, and devastating Oki, he relies more on fundamentals, for lack of a better word. Ggst's able to get into your head and mess with your brain, and the longer the set goes on, the worse and worse it gets. And going into this fight, I knew none of that. All I knew is that he was good. Really good. And I would have to bring my A game if I wanted to beat him.
Let's rock. Up your game. Here you go. Don't fall. That's my name. This may hurt. Up your game. Take this.
He's knocked me through the wall again. There's no way he's going to go for an aggressive play. He has the life lead, but his resources are low. If I was him, I'd back off and use my superior distance to bide my time until I get the resources to go in. So I won't let him do that. What? He knew that I was going to be aggressive? What? How? I've been so passive during these situations. No, calm down. It's fine. It's not over yet. You still have the time to recover this. He's setting up a mix-up. It's a high or low situation. He's gone low the past few times. It would be too risky to go for high, right? But what if that's what he wants me to think? What if he wants me to block low and he goes for an overhead setup? No time to think about it. Just pick. Despite a close set, Ggst had figured me out. The match was a complete and utter wash. It wasn't even close. A couple of good reads and I was knocked into the losers bracket. But I still had made it out of my pools. So I had managed to make it past my seed. It wasn't as clean as I would have liked it to be, but either way, I did it. Do I feel good about it though? With the end of my pool, I had some time to relax and prepare for my next match. I should have known it would only be a matter of time before I run into a Baiken, bro. I feel terrible. So many of my old comrades are in this tournament, trying their hardest, pushing every slight advantage they have, using every piece of knowledge they've gained just to have a somewhat even fight with the rest of the players. While I had used a Faustian bargain cadet to this point, my opponent had just played her best and got to the same point as I had. Sorry I abandoned you guys. But I didn't do it just to lose. You played well, Mr. Tommy. Unfortunately for you, no amount of technical skill could beat a broken character. Goodbye.
One step at a time.
Slap.
With that, I had beaten Tatami Galaxy and reached another milestone. Somehow I had managed to place in the top 16. I know it's just a regional tournament, but this is the best result I had had in months. Hell, it'd been nearly a year since I placed this highly. With this momentum, I might be able to make top 8. In fact, looking at the path, it seems doable. Hell, I've never beaten Tatami Galaxy in bracket before, so who knows what's possible? Who am I even fighting next? Oh. Well, I'm sure that's fine. I wonder who she plays. Ah. Shit. Not gonna lie, haven't had the chance to learn the Goldlose matchup on Slayer, but I'm sure it'll be fine. A lot of people say that Goldlose is pretty bad anyway. All I need to do is run my bullshit, and this'll be completely fine.
Slap.
I lost to Precho with grace and dignity.
All right. 0 seconds.
By slamming my arcade stick and leaving the venue. I felt defeated, but not in the way that I usually do. Yeah, I lost, but I didn't feel like I wanted to go back and get my revenge. I just felt
All right.
nothing.
0 seconds.
This feeling wasn't helped by the fact that one of my old Baiken bros came second. In fact, 2 Baikens made it to top 8. Was she ever the problem? Or It's fine, though. I did stupidly well, especially considering how I usually place. If I keep training, keep playing, and keep persisting, I know that this character could take me really, really far. Wow, wasn't that a crazy run? I sure hope a way to financially support me doesn't come up and interrupt the flow of the video. Oh, god fucking damn it. I tried to get this video sponsored, and every single time I tried, it fell through somehow. So while I would love to shill something, I'm instead just gonna ask you for something simpler. Down below, I have a Patreon link, the funds of which help me make bigger and better videos like this one. It's no lie that money is tight right now, and considering one of the main things that keep my channel afloat was a American brand, means that my finances have been in a... let's go with risky position. So I would really appreciate any support that you'd be able to give. For literally £1 a month, you get access to every video that I make after this one, completely ad-free and unaltered by YouTube. I will also be uploading the original Getting Good videos with their unaltered music, since YouTube likes to force me to change some things and remove bits in order to keep my revenue. Also, while you're here, subscribe! I wanted to try and get a silver play button for a while, and if videos like this get a lot of subs, I know to keep making things like this. Also, I have a second channel with small stream highlights and talking about fighting game news and such. Trying to push all the slop over there so we can get the premium 5-course bullshit on the main YouTube. I also stream on Twitch, tweet on Twitter, Sky on Blue Sky, and shit in my own bog. Thank you for any support that you can give, it means the absolute world to me. Now, let's see how that training arc went. Oh, that's not good. For the past month, I have not been playing Strive. I don't know what it is, but every time I try to play, I feel this overwhelming sense of fatigue. I know that it's basically supposed to be my job at this point, and that's just kind of what it's beginning to feel like. A job, a chore, an obligation. I'm just tired, man. Maybe it's the years of playing the same game, maybe it's all of the life-defining events that happened in my early 20s, maybe it's my sleep schedule just being fucked, but something isn't right. And the worst part of it all, every time I win, I feel nothing. Before I knew it, versus fighting had rolled around once again. And you know damn sure I wasn't going to miss it, even if I was feeling apathetic towards fighting games. I still wanted to go, because this was the biggest fighting game event in the UK. All of my friends were going to be there. Hell, I even met one of my Twitch mods, and she gave me a snack that I'm allergic to. Fuck you, Cherry. Never trust an Arakune player. Even though I hadn't been practicing, I was still kind of riding off the high of my placement at Wake Up Super. So you could say that I was going into it with a little bit of a cocky attitude. Oh, and look at that. My first match is on stream. Perfect. Hey, Editing Gecko here. So, the match was streamed, and I have footage of the streamed match that I downloaded ages ago. However, I very obviously fucked something up here, because for some reason, the match footage looks like this. And I can't find the original stream anymore. So you're just gonna have to trust me. The events that happen are the events that happen, and you can hear Tank's crusty-ass voice. But we're gonna have to do the montage thing again. I'm very good at my job. Let's give these people a show, shall we?
Yeah, it doesn't even need the meter.
Oh. Oh no. They're not cheering for me. They're cheering for her. I always thought I was good with crowd reactions. Unless I'm in a fight where it's very obvious that I'm the underdog, it's rare that I'm ever the crowd favorite. But I've never been cheered against this loudly. Likely it is I wasn't going to win because... yeah, but the reaction, it rattled me. It's fine though, I still have the loser's bracket, and I could still make my comeback. This is just a setback. There's always the loser's bracket. A poor bait on the parry super was enough for my entire game plan to collapse. I'd fallen out of the bracket with a record of 0-2. My lowest placing in a major ever. Do you ever have a moment that puts your life into perspective? Something that makes you question why you're even doing the things you're doing? I haven't enjoyed Strive in months. Every time I boot up the game, I have a sense of dread. I used to have a passion that burned so brightly, a burning light that inspired others to greatness. I've met players who've told me they started playing this game because of my videos, and then they've beaten me. Maybe this is it. Maybe the gig's up. This might be as far as I go. It's no lie that my passion has been smoldering for years at this point, and this event might have been the realization that it's time to let it die. It's time to put the fire out. I'm sorry, everyone. This is it for me.
I'm throwing you.
Of course you'd come back now.